Hello, everybody. I'm just waiting for Bone-A-Fide. I think his name is Chris Rose to send me a link so we can go live. And I'm going to talk to him live over my phone. Hopefully, the audio comes out. I doubt very much that this phone call is going to last very long, or this consult or debate is going to last very long, but it is what it is. So just bear with me here. And after the fact, when the conversation is over, I'm going to sit down because I've recorded all the conversations on Bone-A-Fide's Facebook page, and I'm going to go through and start pulling out some of these trainers because all they ever do is laugh at the psychology. You can post all the proof in the world, and all they can do is ridicule because they don't understand it. They got to fight it. Hey, Learn Facts, how are you? If you go to, hang on a second. That's Bone-A-Fide's Facebook profile. I think his real name is Chris Rose. I'm not sure, and I'm pretty sure we've tangled in the past. So So 7 o'clock, I don't see a live link. He's supposed to be posting a live link. I don't see anything. It's 7 o'clock. 7:01 actually. See, I just posted at 6:57. I'm here. You got a live link? Nothing so far. Is Bone-A-Fide going to show up? I don't know. But if not, we're going to have some fun with the conversations. Like I say, I'm going to be exposing all the trainers that are laughing. And we're going to talk about dog training and the freaking scam that it is. And we're going to talk about Bone-A-Fide and how we didn't want to do this call because he got caught up last night. He decided to stick his balls on a block, and he decided to go ahead and, should I try to collect some votes to see if he's going to have a talk to me. He didn't expect my followers to come over and give me support. So, hey, you know what? Now he's got the votes. Now he has no choice but to do a live. And I'm going to be showing how he's telling people in the post that he won't be letting me talk about Skinner. He won't be letting me talk about Conrad Most. He's going to be heavily controlled because he doesn't want me talking. $7:02, and I still don't see a live link. Yep, it was scheduled for 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 7 o'clock here Mountain Standard Time, so I don't see a link. Is he going to be coming in or not? He doesn't want to do the live anyway. He railroaded himself. He had no freaking choice. He was backed into a corner because all of a sudden people are coming out of the group and they're going, hey, you know what? Robert had a hour-long phone call with me and everything's going great. And that's not convenient to him. So if he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up. I could give a shit. But we got a lot to talk about. Put another message in. 7:03 p.m. Put another message in. Be sure to screenshot it. Well, 7:03. Do you think he's going to show up? Probably not. There's two messages I put on. I'll give you another 5 minutes. If he doesn't show up, this is his problem, not mine. I tried. Ugh. Well, I guess we're not doing a live link. I'll give him 5 more minutes. It's 7:05 right now. I posted 3 messages. No response. And he was all concerned about 7 o'clock sharp, my time. 9 o'clock p.m. sharp, his time. So, I hope he shows too, Linda. But I highly doubt he will now at this point. But if he doesn't show up, I'll carry on without him. Guess what? I posted 3 messages. Still nothing. No response. So, he got till 7:10. He's got 3 more minutes because I'm not sitting there wasting my time on him. Jerry Shorts. I guess we'll find out. He's got 3 more minutes because I'm not wasting my time waiting for him. If he's gonna bow out, he's gonna bow out. What the hell is this? You and your teeth are pathetic. What the hell is this? What is that? Oh, okay. So he's coming in here. He's posted. We had some restrictions to your account. You can't create ads. You can't do live videos. You can't start recording calls. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but it wasn't me to cause that. So apparently he's having problems. Apparently he's not allowed to create live, and I guess he's going to try to blame me for it, but it's not my fucking problem. Let me see if I can get a screenshot of that. So this is what he's seeing. I don't see any names on it. I don't see an account name to it. So you can create a brand new account, and you won't be able to do all this stuff. So I don't know. Is he going to try to blame me? Is this a little technical glitch that he's using to get out of it? I don't know. But I guess the live is not going forward. Okay, I tried. You could easily grab another account. I'm sure you got another Facebook account we can talk on, but I guess it's too hard. But anyways, let's get rid of this. Tried. But we're going to go through some of these conversations now. Now, understand something. We started all this yesterday. Bone-A-Fide has been up my ass for a long time. Everywhere I post, he's always picking and laughing and poking and whatever have you. So he keeps saying that, well, I started. I didn't start this. I don't start shit like this. Okay, when I go to trainers' pages and I'm going on every trainer's page that comes across my feed and I'm going after them. But you know what? I don't follow them around. That's the reality. All right, so I'm going to pull some stuff up here and go through it really quickly because all the proof that I was actually posting in Bone-A-Fide's thread is what people were actually laughing at. Now, one of the big posts that he turned around and used was about punishment, and he got the punishment kind of right, the definition of it kind of right, but we got to fold it up. And they're always talking about punishing the dog. Well, the thing of it is, you got positive reinforcement, you got balanced, and you got IGP. They're all they're saying, well, shut down the behaviors, stop the behaviors. Well, in psychology, that definition, it is the definition of punishment. You're attempting to remove a behavior from a bloody repertoire. That's all dog training is. It's all punishment based. So anybody that says a positive reinforcement is a good one, you're full of it. Okay? So punishment itself is the removal of positive reinforcement to force the application of negative reinforcement. And punishment has nothing to do with psychology. Punishment has no place to do in psychology. And one of the big things that I actually did was I actually posted B.F. Skinner himself, a 1 minute video of B.F. Skinner himself, explaining how there is no free will, explaining how the dog is not making, or how the animal is not making a choice. And all Bone could do was laugh at it. Okay? And what I'm trying to explain to people is the whole concept is that they don't want to understand Skinner. Because once you sit down and actually read a book from Skinner and you actually read the book from Conrad Most, then you're forced to go look in the mirror and admit you're a fraud. And once you do that, you got to take accountability for being complicit in a complete and utter shit show of death. Millions of dogs are dead because of this crap, and millions of autistic kids are dead because of the same crap. What they call acquired dog training, the autism community calls applied behavior analysis. We got millions of dogs that have been killed by a bunch of people that can't even define the word behavior. And as a result of all the same garbage in the autism world, that suicide rate attempt right now is at 25%. 25% of autistics as a result of ABA have tried to commit suicide. Nobody knows the numbers, but it's in the millions. And dog trainers are complicit in this shit. But they don't want the accountability for it. But once you admit you're a fraud, once you read Conrad Most and read Skinner, then you're forced to admit you're a fraud. And then you got to take accountability for it. And nobody wants the accountability for what's coming. The millions of freaking deaths and the or probably trillions of dollars in damages right now. This is the reality. This is just shit show called dog training. They've destroyed owners' lives. They killed millions of dogs. They've raped people financially. That's the reality. And I want to show you something on Larry Crone here, because he's one of the big problems. And oh, by the way, Larry Crone showed up on Bone-A-Fide's page too. He banned me. Him and I in Alabama have actually banned me. The two of them are too freaking scared to do anything. But Larry Crone decided to jump on. Let me show you that. Yeah, it could be fearless. It could be generated with an AI. I don't really give a shit at this point, to be honest with you. Because I knew damn well he had no intention of doing this anyways. He was too freaking scared. But anyhow, Larry Crone managed to get on the conversation. So I had to go in on my backup account and go in and talk to him. And I'm not holding back. You can read that. And then people are always going, why has he only got 8 friends? Just asking. That's really interesting because it's all about the followers. It's all about the numbers. I don't accept Facebook requests. I don't want people caught up in my bullshit. If I had to accept every Facebook request that I have, I'd have thousands by now. I'm getting them all the time. I'm getting people contacting me in PM right now looking for consults all the time. For the last 2 weeks, I've been doing free behavioral consults. I've done, I think, about 35 behavioral consults in the last 2 weeks. And let me tell you, the success rates are great. I love it. I love talking to dog owners. But everybody else is just laugh, 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 right? But I found it kind of interesting. All of a sudden, Larry Crone shows up on Bone's page. It's funny, whenever my name gets brought up everywhere, like whenever I get into a conversation, a lot of times these trainers are coming out of the woodwork. Oh yeah, Jason Andrews, that little psychotic little piece of shit. He came out again. And then all of a sudden he's going, he's laughing at me. And then he comes, oh, kill yourself. Because all of a sudden I posted the comment that he made. When I turned around, he actually made a video to me. I reacted to it. And then he posted on my comment saying, take this video down or I'm going to call the cops. How pitiful are you at all? You know? But just give me a minute. I'm going to go through and pick some of these conversations. Let's see if I can bring some of these videos up. I don't know if I can do this. I'm not used to streaming. Oh, there we go. I can't do it. It's just got to play. So I'm just warning them what's going to happen. And I've actually been telling them what's going to happen before, during, and after this podcast, but it never happened. So. But I'll sit down and do another video going through all these things because we need to start calling this some dog trainers here because, I mean, the laughing that's going on is just incredible. I find it really, really hilarious. Because that's all they can do, because they don't understand this shit. And they don't want to understand this shit. They don't want me to talk. You know? That's the reality. Okay, so let's get into this stuff. I'm going to recap some of the stuff that they were actually laughing at. Because, again, dog trainers would actually sit down and argue with B.F. Skinner himself about his own work. Okay? And I'm going to show you what the stuff that they were actually laughing at. So, for those that don't know, punishment and negative reinforcement are easily confused. So, you get dog trainers calling negative reinforcement actually punishment. They are not the same. Negative reinforcements are the things you avoid. Okay? Things you escape from. That's your positive reinforcement, by the way, is escape from harm. It's escape from negative reinforcements. And the problem is with dog trainers today, they can only look at the dog's world through the trainer set of eyes. And we need to start looking at the dog's world through the dog set of eyes. So when you start understanding what positive reinforcement is from the dog's point of view, now you understand this: the dog is supposed to add and remove things. When trainers are looking at the dog's world, they're always trying to add and remove things to the dog's world, and that's the problem. Okay? They're taking away the dog's ability to rationalize. They're taking away the dog's ability to learn to be a dog. They're doing everything. So punishment is easily... This is actually B.F. Skinner, by the way. This is a quote from B.F. Skinner about behaviorism. And this is the kind of stuff they're laughing at because they can't handle it. It goes right against their grain, and it goes right against the narrative. So punishment is easily confused with negative reinforcement, sometimes called aversive control. We've all heard the phrase aversive control. The same stimuli are used. Negative reinforcement might be defined as punishment for not behaving, but punishment is designed to remove a behavior from an animal's repertoire, whereas negative reinforcement generate behaviors. Okay? So whenever you're hearing dog trainers saying shut down the behaviors, stop the behaviors, they're trying to attempt to remove a behavior from an animal's repertoire, and by definition, that is punishment. And psychology has no place for punishment. It's anti-dog training. Psychology is anti-dog training. Dog training is anti-psychology, okay? And what it means by negative reinforcement generate behaviors. So anything negative in the environment that you deem negative, if you're scared of spiders, then guess what? Spiders are negative. That's a negative reinforcement. So whenever you see a spider in the environment, that spider's negative reinforcement is going to generate behaviors of fight and flight. This is why you're going to move forward to kill the spider, throw it outdoors. You're going to try to remove the spider itself, or you're going to try to run away from it, move away from it. That's negative reinforcements. That's your positive reinforcement. So when dogs are actually barking, growling, and everything else, the dog's actually in positive reinforcement. That's what people don't realize. It's trying to drive away something negative, or it's trying to run away from it. Okay? And then more importantly, if you can bear with me, and again, this is from B.F. Skinner himself, from About Behaviorism. These are quotes from B.F. Skinner. And again, these quotes don't do much for dog trainers. And again, dog training is anti-psychology because dog training is all punishment. Psychology is anti-dog training. Why? Punishing contingencies are just a reverse of reinforcing. Punishment doesn't reinforce anything. And if punishment doesn't reward or reinforce anything, then neither does the reward. That's the reality. That's not how behaviors work. Dog trainers will go out there going, oh, the dog's making a choice, the dog got free will, therefore we can punish the dog. Well, Skinner would tell you point blank, there is no free will. Skinner, Thorndike, Pavlov, Jung, the whole list of psychologists of the past would tell you point blank, there is no free will. The animal's not making a choice. But yet dog trainers are always trumping that because they have to in order to use punishment. And once you understand the dog's making a choice, then the dog can't help how they behave. The human being can't help how they behave. And if the animal cannot help how they behave, then punishment has nothing to do with the animal deserving it. That's why I say dog training is a great gig if you enjoy abusing animals. And there's a whole lot of dog trainers out there that enjoy abusing animals. Dog Daddy is one of them. Garrett Wing is another one over at American Standard. He actually told his wife one day she had a dog on a prong collar. And he's like, oh, honey, it turns me on to watch you pop that dog with a leash. Tell me he doesn't enjoy abusing dogs. And he's getting paid for it. People are throwing money at him to abuse a dog. Make it make sense. Then we get into Conrad Most. This is the stuff that he did not want to talk about. Okay? So you got dog trainers out there going, oh, Skinner and Skinner was about treats and everything else, and prongs and knee collars and containment and muzzles. No, Skinner had nothing to do with treats and prongs and knee collars and muzzles and everything else. It's right here. Implements to be used in the case of primary compulsive inducements are the collar, the choke collar, and the spike collar, in combination with the lead. Now, the e-collar itself, it goes around the neck, wasn't invented until about 50s or 60s, but if it was, it would be in this book, listed as a secondary compulsive inducement, because it's at a distance. Okay? There's also the switch that can also be used in the lightning flick of the wrist. And finally, there's the operations at a distance. These are the secondary compulsive inducements. And e-collar would be a secondary, because you got the remote in your hand, dog is at a distance. The difference between the use of the collar and the switch consists of the fact that the mechanical processes are distinct. This is Conrad Most. This is what you know as dog training. And if people would sit down and read this book, and again, I'll leave the links to Conrad Most book and Skinner's book about behaviorism in the comments. If you read Conrad Most book, you'll understand all of dog training. Conrad wrote the book on IGP dog training, and he also wrote the quadrants. And the IGP dog trainers, who we got? Robert Cabral, Larry Crome, we've got Haas Hoffman, we got Ivan Balabanov. They're all IGP dog trainers. And IGP is the dog training sport of obedience, tracking, and protection. And that's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to teach your dog obedience using IGP, a system that you probably never heard of, let alone understand. And as a result of trying to use a system that you don't understand, your dog is now dragging you down the street nose to the ground. They're actually tracking. And guess what? Now you got a protection dog, because the dog is trying to protect you from the world. It's, this is what's going on. Welcome to the scam, ladies and gentlemen. But prong collars are not anything to do with Skinner. Any dog trainer that's out there telling you that Skinner is pushing treats and knee collars and prongs and crates and muscles, you're a special kind of stupid and dangerous. Okay? Let's get into more. Again, this is the stuff that these trainers don't want you to talk about, because what dog training is all Conrad Most. It has nothing to do with Skinner. Skinner had nothing to do with his bullshit. What they're calling positive reinforcement is nothing more than the bastardization of B.F. Skinner. What it is an actual primary inducement. And I'm going to get into that right now. Again, a quote right from Conrad Most book. The sudden cessation of compulsion may not always bring about performance of the desired action, which involves the form of behaviors which has induced and render congenial. The cessation of compulsion must then coincide with the introduction of an agreeable experience. This consists in the employment of a sound of encouragement, which I'll refer to again in a moment, yada yada yada, and the offerings of morsels of food. Primary inducement. You are trying to induce your dog to do something for you for a piece of food. It is also known as a bribe. Okay? It's not positive reinforcement trainers. They're primary inducement trainers. But positive reinforcement sounds a lot better. And they'll go, oh, positive reinforcement is the good one. Positive reinforcement is not the good one. Negative reinforcement is. Okay? So there's your morsels of food. There's your primary inducements. That's what dog trainers are selling as positive reinforcement. Okay? And what they're selling as positive punishment, negative punishment, are actually primary and secondary compulsive inducements. They don't want you to know that. And they go, Skinner and the positive punishment. No. Skinner wrote 22 books and published 180 papers in his career. I dare anybody to go through those books, get AI to do it for you, and find any mention of the terms positive or negative punishment. They don't exist. Positive and negative punishment came in from Richard Miltenberger, and we're going to get into that. Because Richard Miltenberger wrote a book in the early 90s, and he laid out the quadrants of dog training. And that was at the point where they were shooing Skinner out the frickin' door, and they were bringing in Edward Thornick and Conrad Most. This is all one big scam, and it's all coming out. The American College of Vet Behaviors started this scam back in the 80s when they turned around and got together and they validated their own organization. Bonnie Beaver and the group turned around, they validated their own American College of Vet Behaviors with the sole purpose of pushing drugs on dogs, pharmaceuticals. Then in 1990, Mary Birch, one of the elite graduates of this program, turned around and penned an essay with John S. Bailey called A Toast to Most, Conrad Most, where she laid out how they bastardized Skinner and promoted Conrad Most and hid Conrad Most. And Conrad Most, go search YouTube about Conrad Most. Conrad Most wrote the book on IGP. He's the father of IGP dog trainer. But yet you never hear Ivan Balabanov talking about Conrad Most. You'll never hear any trainer talking about Conrad Most. It's not allowed. They're all blaming Skinner. Why? It's all one big scam. It's all one big fraud. And the big one. People go, well, what's the definition of positive reinforcement? Skinner lays it out in Behavioral Organisms. This is published in 1938, by the way. A special case arises in the withdrawal of negatively reinforcing stimulus, which yields another kind of pseudo-reflex. For example, let a tetanizing shock to the tail of a dog be discontinued as soon as the dog lifts his front foreleg. So the experiment that he did was like applying a shock collar on constant. He actually hooked up an electrode to a dog's tail and turned on the power. And he's waiting for the dog. The onus is on the dog to figure out what it's going to take to turn the power off. So when the dog in this experiment lifted the front left leg, Skinner turned the power off. He removed negative reinforcement, which is actually a positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is the removal of negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement is the removal of positive reinforcement. Okay, let's continue on. The discontinuance of negative reinforcement acts as a positive reinforcement. And when condition is taking place, the shock to the tail will be consistently followed by the movement of the foreleg. Guess what? You turn the power back on, the dog's going to learn to replicate pretty quick that lifting the front left leg turns the power off. That's the positive reinforcement. Right? That's not what dog trainers are telling you, is it? Superficially, the relation resembles a reflex, but the greatest confusion would arise from treating it as such and expecting it to have the usual properties. That's the reality, but dog trainers don't want you to know this. According to them, positive reinforcement is adding things and have a fucking treat. It's not. Positive reinforcement is the removal of negative reinforcement. If Skinner created two quadrants, Skinner created any quadrants, there was two, not four. Positive and negative reinforcement. And anybody who's using the terms positive and negative reinforcement, these terms are coined by B.F. Skinner. So it's operant conditioning. So if you're out there calling yourself a positive reinforcement trainer, you're classifying yourself as a radical behaviorist under Skinner. Okay? And a balanced trainer is out there using positive punishment. And you're believing it's all Skinner. Guess what? No, it's Conrad Most. So all of a sudden, you got to realize they're all claiming to be radical behaviorists. And what does a radical behaviorist say? Replace dog with human. Replace dog with human child. That's what Skinner would tell you as a radical behaviorist. So you know what? For all the trainers out there, do us all a favor. You take a scared child, you wrap a friggin' muzzle around that child's face, you put a prong and a knee collar on that child, and you start shoving food in that scared child's face, and be sure to put it up on YouTube. Blast it across your social media. Show us how radical you are. And you're going to get your asses kicked down the street for abusing a sentient animal. But hey, it's only a dog, right? But it's only a dog. For some reason, the dog is the only friggin' animal in the world that's got all these tools, and they all belong to IGB. They don't belong in your hands. They don't belong in the behavior ring. They don't want you to know that. That's the reality. All the treats, the prongs, the e-collars, the crates, the muzzles, these are all in Conrad Most book. They're not in Skinner's. And Skinner wasn't using reward. He was using food as a reinforcement. Hang on a second. He's going to roast my ass now, is he? I'm recording all this, by the way. Has nothing to do with me. But feel free to roast my ass. I'm on live on YouTube. Right now. I'll send you a link if you want to jump around. Oh yeah, all of a sudden he's blaming me. He's got all these technical glitches. Like I kind of figured it would happen. And now I'm getting the blame for it. He's going to roast my ass, apparently. He said, you know what, go for it. You want to start a video war, go for it. I already warned you. I record every conversation. I got everything recorded from my Bone-A-Fide. When he's actually telling people, oh, I'm not going to allow Robert to talk about this and talk about that and everything else. You know what? Then what's the use of doing a podcast anyway? He didn't have any intention of doing it. He's doing it because he had no choice. He was cornered. I just invited him to the YouTube live. You know what? Come on over here. If yours is not working, let's do it. Come on my live. I'll send you a freaking link. Do you think he's going to do it? No. No, not at all. He won't get on my live. But I'll give him a few minutes to respond. He might get lucky. Or actually, you know what? Maybe I'm going to post a link, see if anybody wants to join in. Bear with me for a moment. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Oh, I think we got a scam going on. Hang on a second now. Hang on 1 second here, because we got different pictures. I think he is scamming me. Bear with me, people. I want you to take a look at this and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this. Because maybe it's just me, I don't know. Now, this picture up in the corner here, and I'm going to put it up elsewhere, doesn't match this picture, because that's his profile picture. This doesn't match. So it looks like he's using a different account. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But is he scamming me? Wouldn't surprise me. So, what do you do? Either way, I'm not going to worry about it. If he wants to roast my ass, if he wants to blame me and roast my ass, feel free. If he wants to get into a video war, he's going to fucking regret it. That I can promise you. That I can promise you. Okay. Fuck it, he's going to get on live with me. Good. Invite guest. Copy. Here. Well, now, looks like he's going to join the live with me. Hey? He did admit he got 4 other accounts. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, because those account pictures don't match up. But according to him, he's going to. I just sent him a link. He said, "Fuck it, send me a link." He's going to join me on this live. So let's see what happens. We just got to wait a few minutes now. See if he shows up. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. So learn facts. Did he actually say which accounts they were? Does that make sense? Because those profile pictures don't match. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But he's accused me now of reporting freaking comments. I don't report comments. I have no intention of doing that. Well, let's see what happens. Anybody got any questions in the meantime while I'm waiting for Bone-A-Fide? See if he shows up here. Now, for some reason, I can't see all the posts. Damn going on. I'm really not sure. I really don't care. All I know is he's pushing the same narrative as everybody else, the same garbage as everybody else. He's pushing Conrad most, and he's blaming B.F. Skinner. And all they do is ridicule. Well, now, for some reason, I can see his profile, but I can't see him. I can't see his comments. There's 7 comments, and all of a sudden they're missing. Let's have a little look-see. Because something tells me I'm being scammed here. I just want to get online. Let's see where he is. I sent him the link to the live. And so far, nothing. He must have deleted the comments. There's only 2 comments left. What the hell is going on? I'll show you. Oh yeah, he's just wasting my time, Play. That's all he is. He had no intention of getting online, but all of a sudden now, somebody explain this to me. Did he just delete his comments? It's showing 7 comments here. He was bitching and complaining at me, talking about how he's going to smoke my ass, and I got the screenshot of it. Now all of a sudden, there's only 2 comments left. What happened? Did he mute me? You really think he's going to be planning on coming on the live with me? I don't think so. This is all just jerking off. But if he wants to turn around, like I say, Bone, if you want to turn around and try to rip me a new asshole, you go for it. You want a video war? Go for it. You're going to regret it. Robert Cabral regretted it. I can guarantee you. Other people regretted it. You want to come after me? Go for it. I really wasn't prepared to do a live tonight. I'm just trying to wait for him just to see what is going on. And I think I might go live again tomorrow night, and I'll be a little more planned. Because I had planned on coming in here and doing live and actually talking to him live on his Facebook. All comments. Oh, dog pound. There you go. You're going to join me on the live? Here we go. You're going to join me on the live? I sent you the link. Dog pound initiative, by the way. This is Bone-A-Fide. Okay? Yes, he's Bone-A-Fide. I sent you a link, a Streamlabs link. You going to get on the live with me, or are you just going to sit in the comments? Here you go, Bone. Click that link and let's get on the live. That'll get you on the live. Let's have a talk. And I did click all comments. 5 comments are missing. Where'd they go? Oh, there he is. Yeah, the stage. Welcome aboard. How are you?
Good. What's up?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm trying to get some light going on here. Hold on a minute.
Okay. So you've had a lot to say about me.
Oh yeah. I could talk all day long. So
I'm sure you could. So let's do it here.
Go ahead and let's get this whole Skinner and Conrad shit out of the way. Go ahead and talk about them so we can go ahead and fix all that.
Introduce yourself. What's your name? I don't even know your name.
My name is Chris Rose, also Bone-A-Fide K9 on Facebook.
Okay. Okay, so what do you want to talk about?
Mostly just correcting your misconceptions about things that you've been saying online.
Okay. You know what? The floor is yours. Tell me my misconceptions. The floor is yours. Tell me how I'm wrong. Come on.
Pretty much everything you say, dude. You're constantly yapping about Skinner and dude, it's too much. I don't even know where to start with you. Like, you're so confused that I don't even know where to start to correct you.
Find a starting point.
Hold on. Let's start here. Here's the starting point. What is the highest level of education that you've completed?
I've got 2 college degrees and 35 years in psychology.
Oh, yeah? Where at?
I've been reading psychology. I've been a student of psychology for 35 years. It's not just B.F. Skinner, my friend. Pardon?
Well, that's funny because my wife's been a student of psychology for only 3, and she's got a bachelor's degree. So
okay, I tell you what. Why don't you get your wife on? Get your wife online. Let's have a talk to her.
No,
I keep putting out the call. Nobody wants to take it.
I'm a dick. You don't want her to get on here, dude. She ain't got no patience for that shit. So let's go back. Answer my question. We're not going to do this changing the subject thing.
What's your school? I went to Humber College for.
What degree did you achieve?
I mean, I achieved for 35 years, and I went to Humber College for
none. I
went to Humber College for plastics engineering and a degree. Okay, and I also went to a private school to get my IT. And ever since when I went to Humber College, that's when I started getting into psychology because we took a lot of psychology courses. Okay, and that's what started me off. Now, what's your education? I answered your question. What's your education?
I've got 3 semesters of a college education as well, but I have the books inside my house. And from everything you're talking about on your Facebook page, dude, you never passed Psychology 101. So long story short, I don't believe you.
Okay, so I've been posting proof about my B.F. Skinner. The entire system blames B.F. Skinner. There's people out there calling themselves positive.
Blames B.F. What are you talking about blaming? Because you repeat this all the time. You got to be specific. What do you mean by everybody's blaming and bastardizing Skinner?
Okay, can you stop and let me talk? Stop and let me talk, and I'll explain to you. Okay? There's no sense in getting weird here. B.F. Skinner, everybody blames B.F. Skinner for creating the quarters to dog training. Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment. Positive and negative punishment were terms coined by B.F. Skinner, and so was operant conditioning. So anybody using those terms, calling himself a positive reinforcement trainer, or you're applying negative reinforcement, you are claiming to be a radical behaviorist. Now, B.F. Skinner wrote 22 books. Let me talk. Skinner wrote 22 books and published 180 papers. I dare you to go through those books or papers and find any mention of positive and negative punishment. I can tell you where they came from, and that was the American College of Vet Behaviorists. Back in 1990, Mary Birch, one of the first elite graduates, wrote an essay with John S. Bailey, laying out how they bastardized B.F. Skinner and actually used Conrad most, and they hit him. They were the ones that created positive and negative punishment, and AVSAB continues to do so today. This is what they're pushing as scientific consensus. And even when I posted the video of Skinner, stating point blank that there is no free will, you're still all about choice. You believe the dog has choice. You believe the dog has free will, therefore you're using punishment. But when you define the word behavior, which is what I'm going to ask you to do, define the word behavior for me.
It's any response to any stimuli, whether internal or external.
Okay, so explain aggression and reactivity. Where does aggression come from?
Adrenal responses, fight or flight. Simple.
Goes deeper than that.
No, not really. No, unless you want to give specific examples.
Can you punish aggression or reactivity? According to you, you can. Because you're talking about punishment.
It depends.
It's either a yes or no. There's no depends.
No, it is not. It absolutely is not. You cannot take a game-bred American Pit Bull Terrier and punish aggression out of him. You can take a mixed breed who is just unsure, doesn't know what to do, uncomfortable, and you can punish the aggression and stop it.
Now we're getting into extinction. You cannot punish you cannot punish a behavior into extinction. That's the reality.
Yes, I can.
You're only suppressing
That's why I'm a dog trainer.
Yeah. That's why you're not in psychology, because punishment has nothing, doesn't belong in psychology. That's the reality. And that's not convenient to you.
No, that's not the reality. And let's go back to your whole Skinner thing first.
It's not just Skinner, my friend.
The long and the short of it is, you are incorrect. And anybody on here, I can't see the comments on your YouTube, but somebody on here, just get online right now and look it up. Who developed operant conditioning? Was it B.F. Skinner or was it Conrad Most?
It was B.F. Skinner.
That's right. So there we go. You've contradicted everything you've said prior to now already once. So let's move on to the next topic.
Define positive reinforcement for me.
It's anything that's added to any situation that causes a person, dog, whatever, to repeat that behavior.
You see, the problem is dog trainers can only see the dog's world through their own point of view. What you need to do in order to understand positive reinforcement is look at the dog's world through the dog's set of eyes. And then when that happens, you realize that's the dog adding or removing things. Okay? And then you realize that positive reinforcement is actually escape from harm. That's what Skinner was getting at. And that's not, you can laugh all you want.
That's negative reinforcement, but good try. Keep going.
No. And again, negative reinforcement. So let's bring up Skinner. Let's bring it right up here on the screen. What is negative reinforcement? Define negative reinforcement while I'm digging this out.
Motherfucker, if you don't know the definition of all this shit, why are we even talking?
That's what I'm asking you.
Explaining your position and I'll explain my position.
I'm not explaining my position at all. I'm explaining Skinner's position. I call myself a radical behaviorist in representation of B.F. Skinner because he's not here to defend himself. He's dead.
Right,
no.
But let's you don't need to defend Skinner. Nobody needs to defend Skinner. Skinner's theory is accepted universally across all of behavioral science. Period. End of statement. You have no authority to debate him, to defend him, nothing. You're nobody. His learning theory has been accepted across the board, and if you could disprove it, your name would be in these college textbooks.
I'm disproving it. It's right here in his books. What is negative reinforcement? Define it for me. What does negative reinforcement do?
What do you mean? What does it do? It makes a behavior repeat.
Pardon?
Makes a behavior more likely to repeat.
No. It's right here. Can you see the image right here?
Oh wow, you got a whole paragraph, right?
Punishment is easily confused with negative reinforcement, sometimes called aversive control. The same stimuli are used,
Yeah.
and negative reinforcement
You
might
were
be
literally
defined as
quoting my
punishment.
post that you were arguing with me on. Your last
Negative
three issues about the positive reinforcement, seeing it through the dog's eyes, and this shit right here, that is literally word for word the post that you were arguing on what I said.
Negative reinforcement generates behaviors. You know what behaviors they are? Fight and flight, aggression and reactivity. That's the reality.
No.
Really. It's right here in front of you. This is B.F. Skinner. Negative reinforcement is coined by B.F. Skinner. Positive reinforcement is coined by B.F. Skinner. This is Skinner's definitions of it. You don't get to trumpet. You're like Ivan Balabanov going, Skinner and Balabanov actually openly admits on camera that Skinner openly opposed punishment. But then he goes down to trash, Skinner didn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And that's exactly what you're doing. You can't just make up your own shit. That's the problem.
You're too simple-minded to understand it. See, I'm not arguing anything Skinner said. You don't understand what Skinner said.
It's right here.
Different.
It's right here.
Yeah, I know, and it does not say what you're claiming that it says.
It's right here in this freaking book.
And it's also,
that's the reality. Isn't it?
As I said, I have preached this for so long that the exact same stimulus you use as a negative reinforcement can also be used as a punishment. What determines the difference is the dog's perception of it and how the dog reacts to it.
Really? So again, you're all about punishment. Let's look at punishment. What did Skinner himself? This is a quote from B.F. Skinner. Punishing contingencies are the reverse of reinforcing. What do you say? Is he full of shit? Is Skinner full of shit? Is he Skinner lying? Am I lying? Because it's right there.
No,
punishing contingencies.
Skinner knew what he knew from 100 goddamn years ago. It's 2026. The man had a limited understanding. So did Conrad Most. It's 2026. You're talking about a guy that was not a dog trainer, but a scientist who developed learning theory. He did not develop dog training techniques. Okay?
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm trying to explain to you. Skinner had nothing to do with the quadrants.
Was a dog trainer. He was not a scientist. And those two guys do not contradict each other. They go together.
No, they're oil and water. No, they are oil and water, my buddy. I'm going to show you that right now.
No. Skinner's work explains why Conrad's methods worked at the time. And at the time, so look, all right, here's the thing. You love to talk about this shit, but you don't fill anybody in on what you're actually talking about. Let's first explain to the people. Dude, go rinse your nostrils out or something, man. If you've been doing coke all these years and don't know how to flush your nostrils, you got a problem.
Conrad Most is right here. The proof is right here.
What you don't inform people about is that the dog trainer you love so much, all this shit about Conrad Most, and first and foremost, who is Conrad Most? Tell us.
Conrad Most was a military colonel back in 1910, and he wrote the book Training Dogs, and it's the manual on IGP dog training. Conrad Most also wrote the Quadros of Dog Training.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. Again.
But when? What? Tell us that year again.
1910.
1910. What year is it now, Robert?
Give me 1 minute to read.
No.
Implements.
Give me what year it is right fucking now. What year is it?
2026. Give me 1 minute to read.
Right, so how many years in between is that? Over a century. You don't think we've learned anything in a century?
Well, what science are you playing? If it's not Skinner, then what science are you playing? Give me 1 minute to read here, okay? Implements to be used in the case of primary compulsive inducements are the collar, the choke collar, the spike collar, in combination with the lead. That's what you're calling positive punishment. It's actually primary compulsive inducements. No. What is balance training also known as? It's called compulsion-based dog training. That's Conrad Most.
No, it's not.
Balance training is also known as compulsion-based dog training.
Nope. Incorrect.
Good Lord. I'll show you the quadrants of dog training. Where they came from.
The 4 quadrants of dog training came from B.F. Skinner. Let's move on.
They did not. They came from Conrad Most.
Conditioning is B.F. Skinner. Nothing you say changes the fact. Move on.
There you go. Welcome to the scam, because that's all you know. And I'm sitting here laying out Skinner for you. I'm showing you proof Skinner openly opposed punishment, and you're saying, no, he didn't. You're full of
I
shit.
don't give a fuck what Skinner did.
Exactly.
Skinner was not a dog
Exactly.
trainer. Skinner's from 100 years ago. What the fuck
Exactly.
causes you to keep going back to this shit?
Because Skinner had nothing to do with the quarters of dog training. That's the reality. He didn't create the quarters of fucking dog training.
What you say. That's what you say. The rest of the world knows better. Whatever. Move on to your next topic. You're wrong. No matter what you say, you're wrong. So
I'm always wrong. Yep. We're going to let the people decide here. Okay? That's all we got to do. We're going to let the people decide. Now, you think Skinner's all about reward and punishment? Where does reward and punishment come from? I'm going to show you right here. This is Conrad Most book again, okay? The use of compulsion and inducements. There's your quarters of dog training. Primary inducement, secondary inducement, primary compulsive inducement, secondary compulsive inducement. The choke collar, the prong collar is a primary compulsive inducement. If the e-collar was actually invented back in 1910, it would be known as a secondary compulsive inducement, or what you know as secondary or negative punishment. Okay? That's the reality. So right here, see, cake and sticks, the rewards and punishments obtained for human conduct. Cakes and sticks and tightness and menace. This is all Conrad Most. This is not B.F. Skinner. And again, B.F. Skinner openly opposed the use of punishment. So where do the punishment quarters come from? Right here. And I'm going to show you the book. I'm going to show you the book right now. And it's unfortunate for you because you're sitting there going, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I'm putting the proof right in your face.
No, you're
because
not.
You don't want to believe it.
It's not that I don't believe it. I believe everything they say. The fact of the matter is, it's your understanding or your lack of understanding. You don't understand what you're reading, dude. Not only do you not understand it, you have absolutely no idea how it applies.
So when I'm reading a quote from B.F. Skinner saying punishment contingencies are just the reverse of reinforcement, what does that mean to you?
Exactly.
What does that mean? They're not reinforcing. If punishment is not reinforcing, that's what it's saying. But yet you're applying punishment.
But no shit. Two different things. One's to stop behavior and one causes behavior to repeat.
No, negative reinforcements generate behaviors. Punishment tries to remove behavior from an animal's repertoire. You see, you're sitting here, I'm putting the proof right in your face.
No, that is not how that works.
I'm putting the proof right in your face. And you're so, oh no, he's wrong. Yeah, you don't give a fuck. There you go.
Writing that you don't understand. We can prove that you don't understand. Look, all right, look. This is so easy.
I love this shit.
Right? Do you know why you can't use any of this shit in your dog training? Because you don't understand it. You know why I can?
I use it every day.
Because I do understand it. Do you know why you can't even walk a dog on a leash? Because this just isn't your gig, man. Like, it's just not. So let's move on from the Skinner and all that bullshit and tell us how you use this stuff in your everyday life. What are you implying? Are you implying that you model your training after Conrad Most, or are you sticking to your little bullshit slogan that there's no need to train dogs? You should just let them do whatever they want.
No. The problem is you're coming up with the idea that you can train the dog to behave. That's the reality. You cannot. Okay? You cannot train the dog to behave. That's the reality.
All right,
I don't train
Paul. I need an explanation.
I've got all the videos to prove it, and you don't want to hear it.
What? No, I don't want you to quote some paper.
You've seen my videos.
To explain to me.
You've seen my videos. I walk in the backyards. I meet dogs one-on-one in backyards, okay? I am a negative reader. Let me give you psychology. When I break into a dog's backyard to meet the dog one-on-one, the owners in the kitchen watching through the window, I'm wearing a GoPro camera right here. And I'm wearing a GoPro because I want the owner to see it from my perspective. So when I walk into a backyard, I am a negative reinforcement that generates the dog's behaviors of fight and flight. If I wasn't in the backyard, the dog wouldn't be barking and not running around or whatever have you. I am in the negative reinforcement that's generating the dog's behaviors. I'm just calm. At some point, the dog's going to calm down. They're going to learn to rationalize, and they're going to come over and meet me and make friends. That's it. And then we go for a walk. That's the first session. Second session is in the dog park always.
Wait, hold on, pause.
And I use my dog as a mentor.
Don't go too fast. Don't go too fast. Okay, then that is my point. I'm sure you believe what you just said. All right. And I'm gonna do my best to bait you into this as simply as possible. Please explain.
Please do.
Yeah, by all means. Please explain to us how you are the negative reinforcer. Go ahead.
Negative reinforcements generate behavior in psychology. And what behaviors do they generate?
Wait, hold on. So what behavior are you reinforcing?
I'm not reinforcing anything. I'm not reinforcing anything.
Not the negative reinforcement then, dumb fuck. Like, what the fuck? All right, hold on. Pause.
Punishment, reward, and punishment.
Allow a professional to explain to you what negative reinforcement.
Oh, please do. Take the floor. You know what? Make an ass of yourself. Come on. Make an ass of yourself.
I needed to get
Go for
that born in me, and now I'm ready. So check it out.
Go ahead.
Negative reinforcement is a pressure that's applied to a dog that when the dog performs a certain behavior, the pressure is removed. And by turning off that pressure or easing the discomfort, whatever the case may be, you reinforce that behavior that the dog is doing. For example, when I use a low-level stem on an e-collar and I hold the button and I say, dog, sit, and then the dog sits and I let go of the button, the dog believes that the moment he sat made that e-collar stem go away. That's negative reinforcement. We took something away that was rewarding to the dog and caused him to do it again. So if you never have a release of pressure and there's no specific behavior that's being reinforced, that is not a negative reinforcement.
You're going to love me here. You're going to love me here because this is from Skinner in 1938. Would you like to read this for the people? Because that's exactly what you just explained and exactly how an e-collar works. Would you like to read this for the people?
I mean, I don't need to, dude. This is shit that I preach all the time.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't need to. But I'm going to let everybody else read it. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can feel free to grandstand. That's the reality. In this particular experiment in 1938, he turned around, hooked up an electrode to a dog's tail, and he continuously shocked it. What he did was put the onus on the dog to figure out what it takes to get the power turned off. So when the dog lifted the front left leg, the dog was just trying everything to get him on the go, to get the power turned off. The dog was just dancing. But when the dog finally lifted up the left leg, guess what? Skinner turned the power off. That removal of negative reinforcement is the positive reinforcement. And that's what it says right here. What is positive reinforcement? The removal of negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement removes positive reinforcement. They're bloody yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. You cannot have positive reinforcement without negative. That's the reality. No, you can't. No. Positive reinforcement removes negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement removes positive reinforcement. They are yin and yang. You can't do one without the other. This is basic psychology. And I'm not just applying Skinner. I'm using Young.
I don't do one without the other.
Regardless, this is the whole thing.
Reinforcement, I follow that with positive reinforcement. So you're making a moot point here, dude.
Again, you can't define the words. That's the problem.
Negative reinforcement and positive reinforcement are two different things. You have no idea what negative reinforcement is. You just proved that to everyone.
It's right here.
Now let's talk about tools. You also claimed you never use tools. You don't need to use.
I never use tools. I don't need tools.
Really? Well, hold on.
That's it.
I'm going to show where you're a lying sack of shit because you have a whole lot of videos where you got dogs on a collar and a leash. Matter of fact, didn't you just post a video with a little dog on a leash and a collar and you're walking him on a goddamn treadmill? Motherfucker, that's a lot of tools.
That's my dog, by the way.
That's my dog. The same dog that later you're like, oh, he just knows to stay with me and lets him off leash, and the dog just goes out of sight.
I so love when dog trainer. I so love.
Shut up. Do you remember like 10 years ago when you posted a video with these so-called aggressive dogs? It was one of your first YouTube videos, and you're trying to walk the dog down the street, and he's dragging you. And the people that are passing you are like, dude, what the fuck? Don't you have a backyard to do this shit in, man? Go the fuck somewhere else. And then after you let the dog drag you for an hour, you were about to have an aneurysm, killed over and couldn't breathe. And you're like, look, see, he's calm now. There's no need to train the dog. Or do you remember that other video where you put a dog on a treadmill for a fucking hour and then he's like stumbles off of it all wobbly legged and lays down? And
that's not my video.
See, if we're just calm, the dog will be calm.
That's not my video.
Oh, yes, it is.
You better find that one.
The same
you better find that one again.
So
You
I
better
want you
find that one
to.
again.
No, I don't. I want you to explain to us this whole be calm thing and how we can pick up this skill of how to just walk in and fart fairy dust, and all of a sudden the dog's going to be calm, and now
I do.
all their behavioral issues are going to go away. This dog done killed 7 dogs, 6 cats, bit 3 kids and your grandmama, but Robert was calm and it just solved everything. He only needed 2 hours and $100.
I do so.
Please
I
tell
do
us in
so.
detail how it works
I
and
do
why
so.
you get bit so often. Throw that in there for me too.
I do so love when dog trainers get on my live and grandstand. You're going to regret it. And you did it last night,
No,
didn't
I
you?
don't think I am. But
Yeah.
go ahead and explain.
Yeah. Here's the thing about last night. What happened last night? You didn't. You put your balls in the ball and you went and put the thing up for the votes. And all of a sudden, you got people coming over. Well, I just had a phone call with Robert for an hour, and all of a sudden, like things are working well because we're getting to a diagnosis. The problem is, dog trainers don't give a diagnosis. You're just trying to shut down behaviors. When a dog owner something, pardon?
Says who? I never do no shit like that. I preach the opposite.
Okay, so if it's so what causes aggression? Lay it out.
God damn, talk about going in a circle.
Lay it out.
What causes aggression? In short, an adrenaline rush.
Okay, so that makes aggression a symptom, correct? Where something has a cause, and guess what? The effect is a symptom. So what you're trying to do by punishing symptoms is trying to shut down this friggin' symptom. And you wonder, people are out there screaming, why isn't this shit working? It's cause and effect. What causes a behavior? Guess what? If there's a cause, the effect is nothing more than a symptom, the outcome of a problem. Explain that to me.
I agree with that, so go ahead.
Yeah. So you're not getting a diagnosis. Something is causing the emotion that causes the behavior. Psychology doesn't give a shit about the behaviors. I don't care about behaviors. I don't care about fight and flight. I can walk into the backyard and see any animal in fight or flight. The same behaviors. I can see the same behaviors from any horse, dog, or pigeon. I don't care about behaviors. I care about the something that's causing the emotion. Because once you figure out the something that causes the emotion and terminate something, guess what? The emotion doesn't need to exist, neither does the behavior. That's called extinction.
So,
and that's the whole point. That's something that something that psychology is interested in. That's the diagnosis. And once dog owners understand the diagnosis, once dog owners understand we need to focus on the fear of what's causing the dog to be afraid, guess what? They will never hire another dog trainer again in their life. And that's what you experienced last night.
Are you proposing that? Like, what exactly are you proposing? When you talk about addressing fear, are you suggesting that you're basically just exposing the dog to the shit long enough to where eventually they realize nothing bad's going to happen to them?
Why is the dog afraid? That's what psychology is interested in.
Usually because he doesn't understand what's happening.
Why don't they understand what's happening?
Because we got
trust issues. Why would you be scared out in the environment? Because you don't fucking trust the person that you're with. And a person that they don't trust, if they don't trust a person, they have no reason to follow them.
All right, well, hold on a second. All right, now, I don't totally disagree with you on that now, all right?
Oh, my God, we're going to start agreeing now.
The relationship is absolutely mandatory. And one of my videos that you commented on, that little black dog with the fireworks and all that shit, because we have a good relationship, I was able to stand there with her, and that was enough to get her through that whole traumatic experience. So I'm big on the relationship thing. But
okay, stop for a second. Now define the word relationship. What is a relationship? How do you define it? And I'll give you my definition of it.
Well, when it comes to kids and dogs and things like that, like it's got to be there has to be a give and take. You know what I mean? There has to be a communication system as well as a trust system. And the only way that there can be trust is if you've actually been through some shit together. You know what I mean? And you don't have to traumatize your dog just so it can go through the experience with you, but you work your way up. You know what I mean? And once the dog's been through some things that stress it out and they see, hey, this guy always gets me through this and it's not a big deal. It's not going to be any different this time. Then you have something to build on.
Okay, for me, a relationship is mutual trust and respect that builds confidence in any relationship. If you don't have trust, you can't respect it that you don't trust, and you can't be confident with it. And the number one thing I hear today from dog owners is, I don't trust my dog. And why is that? Why don't dog owners trust their dog? Because there's no respect for the dog. You cannot trust anything until you start respecting the dog. And you know what? Punishing the dog is disrespectful. But yet you're trying to punish the dog into a relationship. Make it make sense. I don't punish dogs. I don't need to.
I think you have a maybe a warped view on what punishment means. I'm not a fan of harsh punishment at all. I'm probably the most light-handed, balanced trainer you'll ever meet.
I don't care. Punishment has no place in psychology, and you're claiming to be a fucking psychology nerd. And you're telling me point blank, I'm reading.
If that were true, then why is there no example of it anywhere on any of the darkest corners of the world? Every society, every part of every learning institution, sports team.
Exactly. Here's the whole thing, because Skinner railed against the punitive society. He wrote 180 freaking papers railing against the punitive society that we all live in, because it's not fucking Skinner, it's Thorndike. We live under Thorndike law of effect. That's what you don't seem to get. And everybody's going, oh, Skinner. No, it's not Skinner. Law of effect is reward and punishment. Theories from Edward Thorndike. Conrad wrote the freaking book.
Skinner went deeper down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he just explained it.
Here's the thing. When we go through all of the psychologists, you go through Skinner, Thorndike, Pavlov, Jung, you can go back to Solowski, you can go back to Jonathan Edwards. Every freaking major behaviorist in the past would tell you point blank, there is no freaking free will when it comes to how we act. But yet here you are, dogs have a choice, we can punish the dog. No.
So you claim that there's no free will.
I'm not the one claiming it. It's psychology that's claiming it. And you're debunking it. You're declaring bull.
All right, so hold on, because I've actually seen this argued in a courtroom before. So I'll tell you a quick little story, okay?
Go ahead.
Hold on. It's real life shit, so I got to be careful what I say. My brother.
Yeah, you might want to be careful what you say, because you're live with me right now. There's nowhere to hide. If you fuck up, you fuck up. And you're already fucking up. You're already grandstanding. Come on, keep on going.
No. I ain't worried about that shit. Like I said, this is real life shit.
Yep.
My brother was stabbed twice by a man with a mask on, to where he took the knife from him and stabbed him with it 30 times, all in the neck and shit, right? And that guy was one of my friends since high school. This was a very, very brutal murder. And when he went to court, he was pretty confident that he was going to beat this because, well, the guy's robbing me. He's got me locked in his van, and he stabbed me twice before I wrestled the weapon away from him and got him. You know, it was him or me, do or die. But do you know what? After all the professionals looked at it, and you know, you do understand in the court system, there is a psychiatrist that comes in and works with people, all that. They have an input with the judge, and the biggest thing on a self-defense case is state of mind, the psychology behind it. That is the whole defense. Now,
I can't wait for this one. I can't wait for this one. Go ahead.
The professionals do not agree with you. That is the fact of the matter. I'm just telling you a real life story of an example where the professionals don't agree with you.
Do you think the mind has control of you? Do you think your mind has any say in how you behave?
What?
Do you think your mind has any say in how you behave? Does your mind have any control over your behaviors?
Fuck yeah.
No, it doesn't. You ever have a hair stand in the back of your neck? Danger imminent?
That's okay. It doesn't control everything, you retarded fuck.
Your mind. Retarded fuck. Can you please?
Now,
can you please curb the name calling?
Probably not.
We're on a freaking live here, okay?
Yeah.
Explain to me how the mind works with behaviors.
Since you cut me off before I got to the point of my story, when the court date came and all the professionals spoke, they said, in the heat of the moment, we could absolutely understand you stabbing the guy when you got the knife away from him so that you could get away. But, sir, you stabbed him 28 times, mostly in the neck and chest area.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no reason for that, and you made the conscious decision to kill this man. After a certain point, it was overkill, and he was sentenced to 44 years with 30 suspended, and now he's been in for 9, still got 4 left. 14 years is a long fucking time of your life to lose. So if he had no free will, and psychology acknowledges that nobody has free will, he wouldn't have went to prison. He would have won on self-defense.
I can explain
You
it
know
to
what
you.
I'm
Do you
saying?
want to give me? Do you want to stop and give me 2 minutes now to explain it to you?
No, not really, because I'll give you another story about free will. Like I said,
No.
the statements like
You
I
had your
hate that shit because only cowards
you
say
had your
that shit.
moments. This is supposed
I've
to be a
had.
debate. You had your moments. You've had your
Oh
moments.
yeah. Oh
Let me
really?
respond. Let me
Sorry, am
respond
I
and explain
killing
it.
your fucking credibility here?
All I need is 2 minutes to explain it. I can explain all that because what you're talking about is Edward Thorndike. Okay?
All right, look. Okay, I'll take this explanation, and then we're gonna move on from 130 fucking years ago, and you're gonna jump in your DeLorean and come
Okay.
back to the
Stop
future
and
with
listen.
us.
Stop and
It's
listen. Okay?
2026, Robert.
Stop and listen.
2026.
Can you please stop
It's
and listen?
2026.
Can we
It's
stop and listen?
2026. It's 2026.
Are we having a
Last
conversation? Are you
explanation
going to
from
let
the
me go?
1900s. Go ahead.
Okay. You're going to stop and let me talk? Okay, Thorndike knew damn well. Are you going to stop and let me talk? Come on. Thorndike, Edward Thorndike, Edward Thorndike, Edward Thorndike created a law of effect. Okay? And that is the punitive society that we live in today. And Skinner railed against the punitive society. Thorndike knew that there was no free will. But Thorndike was different because he understood that convincing people that they do have free will leads more to manipulation and reward and punishment. That's what it boils down to. Thorndike lied to people. And right now we live in a law of effect, and that is the entire system that we know today, reward and punishment. And that is exactly what Skinner railed against. He wrote papers against the punitive society that we all live in and explained that it's all about Edward Thorndike, a law of effect. And he wanted that society based on positive reinforcement. He never got his wish. He died before he got his wish. Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't.
Well, that makes perfect sense, but you're forgetting to explain. And dude, you've been saying this shit for like years, man. Repeating the same bullshit.
So you've been following me for years. You're admitting that you've been watching me for years now? I love this. I've been telling people for years that, you know what? Oh, yeah.
Dude, you're like a little herpy, man. You're kind of just.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Kevin Murdoch's been up my ass for the last 3 years hunting this Moby Dick, and he still can't damage.
At no point can you ever explain what the fuck that has to do with anything, right? You can't explain how it applies to anything.
It's animal behavior.
You can't explain why or how you use any of this stuff in your trainings that you don't.
I'll tell you what. I'll explain it to you. I'll use the toilet as the example. You ready with this?
Dog that you trained as an example. Crazy.
I got all kinds of video. I don't train dogs.
Trust me, I noticed.
You see, the only thing that exists right now, when people have a problem with a dog, they get online. The only thing that they have is train the dog. Okay? There's no such thing as behavioral psychology.
Define
dog trainers. Okay, very much so. Dog training is supposed to create abnormal behaviors in dogs. Now, hear me out. Okay? Abnormal behaviors. Dogs, Jesus Christ, dogs actually sit, they down, they roll over naturally. Abnormal is teaching them to do it on command. It's called obedience. Okay? I've never seen a dog look at a set of poles and automatically go, I'm going to weave through those. That's an abnormal behavior that needs to be trained. But here's the problem. You're trying to train all natural behaviors that you cannot train. Again, psychology doesn't care about the aggression and reactivity. I don't care about the behaviors. I care about something that's causing the emotion that's causing the behaviors. Because once you fix something that's causing the emotion, the behavior ceases to exist. And that doesn't play well with you.
Explain that. What the fuck are you talking about? It's easy
just explained it all.
Well, if you just get to the root cause, but you got to explain what you do, man.
So the people in the comments can understand it. What say you, all the people in the comments? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Because he clearly doesn't. I'm sorry, my voice is getting rough because I got COPD and I'm losing my voice right now.
I understand what you're saying, dude. You're not understanding that you don't know how to apply it, and that's why you refuse to answer the questions.
There's nothing to apply.
You insist on keeping it on paper and shit, and you can't give real life examples.
There's nothing to apply.
You have absolutely no success anywhere. I asked you to define training, and you can't do it. You know what?
I don't train dogs,
is, Robert.
It's abnormal behaviors.
Look up the definition of the word right now.
Dog training creates abnormal behaviors in dogs, not normal behaviors.
That's what you say. That's not what the motherfucking dictionary says, fool.
Let's pull up a dictionary.
Hey, thank you. Somebody pull up the definition of training. No, not dog training. I said training.
Dog training is a specific teaching a dog specific skills. Again, abnormal behaviors. You're not teaching aggression. You're trying to shut down.
That's not what it says. Shut the fuck up. Look up the definition of the word training.
The structure of developing special skills, knowledge, and physical capacities needed for a particular job, sport, or activity. What does that got to do with aggression and reactivity? What does that have to do?
Faster, why don't you? What do you mean? What does it have to do with anything, my man?
What does it have to do with
any success? If you're being around the dog and the dog learns something from it, that's training. You're pretending that you're not training dog. You're doing something.
Training.
Even if you're doing weird shit, picking the dog up and sticking his nose in another dog's ass. That's some weird shit, dude, and I don't understand you. But I'm just saying,
training.
If you had any results, you could show it, you could talk about it, you could explain the process. But instead, all training is you getting bit and running back to try to yap about some shit from 120 years ago. Dude, dog training is training. Dude, listen, I'm 37. Dogs, when I was 17, compulsion training, that's how things were
compulsion training, there you go. There you go. Compulsion training, Conrad Most, right?
We had fun since those days. Dude, I know
compulsion training.
But the shit you're talking about is like from your granddaddy's era. Do you have any idea the breakthroughs in dog training we've had just the last 20 years? Imagine when you were doing
when you were doing compulsion training, Conrad Most, yeah, compulsive inducements, right?
And you're back to the 1930s. You
training,
retarded motherfucker. Hey, what the fuck is wrong?
Training,
nigga, my weed ain't strong enough.
Training defined. Training defined. Training defined. The structured process of developing the specific skills, knowledge, or physical capabilities needed for a particular job, sport, or activity. So what does that training have anything to do with aggression and reactivity? That's my question. What does it have to do with aggression and reactivity? Because aggression is not a skill. You said it yourself. There's an effect, cause and effect. Something's causing the aggression, which makes the aggression a symptom that you're trying to punish and shut down.
What about genetics?
Pardon?
What if genetics causing the aggression? What happens when you get a puppy that's just born fresh out of the box when he smells another dog and starts foaming at the mouth?
Can you answer a question?
What do you do? What do you do?
What did I ask you just now? What did I ask you? I asked you a question, you won't answer it. What does all the skills have to do with aggression and reactivity? And we just covered.
What are you? What are you? You got to be more specific. What are you trying to ask me?
I asked you what causes aggression, and you gave me an answer. So when there's a cause, guess what? The aggression is nothing more than a symptom. So you're focused on punishing symptoms. I don't. I'm working on the freaking cause. I'm focused on the cause.
You said that, not me. The reason I'm successful is because I address the root cause. But that doesn't mean we don't guide the dog through it. We can't just leave.
So again,
some dogs will figure it out, man, but we can't just lead the dog to their own.
We're not.
You can't solve a problem in the same mindset that started the problem. They need outside interference. I mean, they're intelligent, but they're still dogs. They're
sentient beings. Yeah, they need guidance. They don't need to be shut down and told what to do. That's the reality. We got to put the onus on the dog. It's the dog's operant conditioning, not your operant conditioning. It's the dog's reinforcements, not your reinforcements. So what I'm telling people to do instead of
that's what I'm trying to tell you, fool. That's just the explanation of what you're doing. It's not the technique.
Can I talk?
No, you can't. Operant conditioning does not teach you how to train dogs.
No.
It explains why what you did worked. So what I'm asking you is move forward in life. Tell me what you're doing with these dogs that you believe is achieving results. And you can't just make these generic ass statements. I'm looking for
the only thing that I'm focused on is relationship. And that's the only thing I'm focused on with dog owners is relationship, because you need psychology to get a relationship. And this is number one thing. So right now,
how dangerous that is, dude.
Oh my God. Can you not interfere? You're asking me questions. I'm trying to answer it and they keep interfering.
Right, but you want to keep going and rambling on and on and on. We don't need all that
you
shit.
Had
simple, quick answers. We're an hour and a half in and you just rambling on about shit.
You had dog owners. You had dog owners that I did consults with. Explain to you that after a 1 hour phone call with me to get them understanding of the problems that they have, all of a sudden now things are much better because they're focused on relationship. They're not trying to train the dog using punishment to try to punish the dog to do a relationship. That's the reality. I don't punish. I don't care what you believe or not. And again, I told you, you know what? Join the group. Make a quick post to say, hey, you know what? Dog owners, I'm a trainer. Tell me about your successes.
I stayed up till 10:30 at night to come on a live with you, and you're still pulling the same dumb shit you were doing on Facebook. Oh, just go and look at this. Go look at that. Just tell me right now. Tell all of us right now. What's the big secrets? Just give us. You don't have to tell us the whole thing. Just a little bit something. Just explain to us what you've done with a dog, not what you hypothetically think up in your mind. I'm talking about the dog that didn't bite you. How did you get the results? And what results did you achieve? Because here's the thing, dude. I've been really good friends with some real savage dogs, and they wouldn't bite me, but they'd sure fuck you up. And we can't have that. You know why? Because I got kids, I got neighbors, there's people walking down the street and shit. I can't have a killer dog. Most people can't.
Do you understand why I got bitten? Do you even understand why I got bitten?
Yes, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like you said, it's always your fault. And I agree with you on that too.
I stuck my fingers where they don't belong. I stick my hands once in a while where they don't belong. I fuck up. You know what? I'm not blaming the dog. I'm not telling people to kill the fucking dog. I take the bite and I stay calm. You've seen the videos. When Freddie bit me on the wrist, 120 pounds, I stood there to stay calm. Because if I had ran for the gate, I wouldn't have made it. That's the reality. You see, the whole problem is you don't want...
Because you don't understand pressure. You don't really understand...
I don't need any of pressure. There you go. Pressure is mentioned 32 fucking times in Conrad's book.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about I don't need pressure. You applied pressure to the dog. That's why you got bit, fool. The dog didn't just bite you because he was having a good day and he wasn't worried about you.
Here we go. You keep talking about pressure. Dog trainers are all about pressure. The word pressure is mentioned 32 times in Conrad's most book. You should sit down and read it. You really should. You clearly haven't read it.
Internal and external. In your case,
but again,
spatial pressure. You were in his territory and invading his space. You disrespected him, and he bit your dumb ass.
Is pressure part of psychology? Is pressure part of psychology?
What?
Is pressure part of psychology? Because pressure is mentioned 32 times in Conrad's most book. That's where your pressure comes from.
Pressure, stress, whatever you want to call it. Scientifically speaking, it would be called stress.
Conrad wrote the book on IGP dog training, formerly known as Schutzhund.
Why are we back in the fucking 1920s?
Because all of what you fucking call dog training is nothing more than IGP in disguise. And this is what I'm getting into.
I'm not a compulsion trainer, dipshit. I don't
care. You're still punishing the dog, but you're
talking about it.
You're the one that said you're a psychology nerd. But yeah, you're debunking Skinner.
But I live in 2026, not 1920.
So what psychologist is telling you to punish a dog?
And you've been stuck in 1920. This is why
what psychologist?
So you couldn't do that.
What psychologist is telling you to punish your dog? Give me a name. Because every psychologist.
Me, I'm one.
Which psychologist?
Absolutely necessary, and the guidance
you are
is
one.
Part of the communication system. You're not trying to make the dog sorry for what they did. Why don't you tell us? You tell us what you think punishment is.
Punishment attempts to remove a behavior from an animal's repertoire. That is the psychology definition. Now, which psychologist is telling you to punish a dog? Which psychologist is telling you to use an e-collar or treats? No, which ones? Which psychologist?
Me, I'm one.
You're a psychologist. There you go. Everybody's making their own psychologist. You're claiming to be an expert in behavior. You haven't read fucking Skinner, and you haven't read Conrad most. But yet you're claiming to be an expert in behavior based on what?
Dude, what the fuck does that have to do with anything now? You don't understand either one of them, first of all, and they're 100 fucking years old, man. You take pieces of the puzzle and leave the shit that ain't right by the wayside. 100 years ago, psychology? They didn't know any better. We have moved forward since 1920.
Okay. So what are you moved forward to? Which psychologist do you follow? Panksepp is still alive? Panksepp, do you know who Jack Panksepp is?
Psychologist. I don't.
Do you know who Jack Panksepp is? So you don't even have a favorite psychologist, but yet you claim to be a psychologist. Based on what? What's making you call yourself a psychologist?
Motherfucker, I train dogs. What in the fuck are you talking about?
What are you basing?
Yes, I understand the psychology behind it, but
no, you don't.
train dogs.
So what psychologist? What psychologist?
Unlike you, I have results. I have beginning, middle, and end, and I show my work. I explain everything to a T.
All my work was there too.
You yourself says you can't train dogs.
I don't train dogs.
You get dragged down the street, and you can't even verbally. You don't even have the mental capacity to make up a fucking story right now. I've given you so many opportunities. Just make some shit up, dude. It don't even have to.
That's all you. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing, making up shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't even know enough about this to even make some shit up. What are you doing with these dogs that you think is having an effect? And explain how it works. Since you know better than the entire fucking behavioral science community, we need the secret, dude. What is it?
You cannot train a dog to behave. That's the secret.
Bullshit. Thousands of us do it every single day. I have the videos on my fucking page.
Really?
Yes, really.
And what behaviors are you trying to train? Again, aggression and reactivity, we already dealt with it. Aggression and reactivity is nothing more than a symptom. Something's causing it. No, so what is punishment? What is punishment?
Then explain. Go deeper into that. Give examples. I need real life examples.
You are a human animal. If I stick you into a corner and threaten your life, you're going to show aggression because you're afraid. But yet trainers go, "Oh, the dog is very aggressive." That's a serious problem because you're telling
like that. What have I ever done?
The thing it is, and the way I explain that is that the dog is showing aggression because they're afraid. So now all of a sudden, instead of focusing on the aggression, now you got to focus on the fear. And you don't need a dog trainer to work on fear and aggression. You see, last night when all these owners came over to you, that's all the owners. I had 35 consults in the last 2 weeks. They come over and talk to you. They spend an hour on the phone with me. Now they understand the cause. They fired the dog trainers. They don't need them anymore.
Stop it. I asked you, I need to hear the process. I don't give a fuck about your consults or who said what, this, that, and the third. What?
Of course not. None of this shit is convenient to you.
Address these issues. Give us
do nothing. Psychology is not a technique. Psychology is is about Jesus Christ.
You're not out here mind fucking dogs and farting fairy dust and fucking just putting them to sleep and shit. It's not happening, man.
Psychology.
We can
Jesus
see
Christ,
your
I'm ready.
video, dude. We can see your video.
Psychology is not a technique. Psychology is an understanding. Positive reinforcement is not a technique.
Science that explains what we observe. That's what it is. It does not teach us how to do
It's about understanding. It's about understanding. And once you understand the causes,
if you don't know how to apply it, and which is why I keep asking you for real life examples.
You don't apply psychology. That's the problem.
To address the root of the fear, what the fuck does that mean? How are you addressing the fear? How are you stopping?
By gaining trust. What is fear but lack of trust? The dog is scared.
No, I promise you, if you bust the 45 over the top of a dog's head, he ain't scared because he don't trust you. He's scared because the motherfucker's loud and a big boom, and he don't know what that is. It's an explosion coming out of the end of the stick. It has nothing
what is a fear?
Trust at that point.
What is fear?
It's a great foundation, but trust is not the end all be all to fucking fear. Not only that, you might not always fucking be around, and if you are your dog's crutch, then it's not going to work out good. That's how you end up with separation anxiety and all kinds of fucking issues.
Oh no, separation anxiety is about positive consequences. You know how I define dog training? Man fears that which he does not understand. If he can't control and manage it, he destroys it. That's how I define dog training.
And why do I care how you define dog training?
Because dog trainers are afraid of dogs. I look at dog trainers today, they're all afraid of dogs. That's the reason why they're going for tools to control and manage. They don't want to get bit. I'll take a bite for a dog.
Well, generally speaking,
What is
you
fear?
should have a healthy fear of dogs. I mean,
I
if
don't have
you're
any fear of
working with
dogs.
any serious dogs and you have a brain cell in your head,
I don't.
you're gonna
I
have
don't have.
a healthy fear to where you at least respect what the dog could potentially do to
Oh
you.
yeah, I respect
You
what a
don't
dog
do
can do.
stupid shit like walk up and get yourself bit because you're disrespecting the fucking dog. Thankfully, you've never actually encountered a really aggressive dog. And we'll know the very day you do because your face
Oh
is going
my
to get real
goodness
angry.
gracious!
You're going to find out just
What?
how full of shit you are one day. But probably
Just
not, because you're not actually working with dogs.
99%,
About that shit.
99% of all cases out there are fear cases. All 99% of aggression cases are fear.
Well, that's
the
exactly what
reality.
I just said. You're working with pussy dogs,
No,
right? Yes, that's what you just said. 99% of them is fear based. You're working with pussy ass dogs.
really. So bear with a
I
pussy
have a
ass
yard
dog.
full of dogs
Yep.
right now, and I promise you, their aggression is not fear based.
You know what? If I were there, I have been taken up on offers. I've had offers. You know what? Go in and meet my dog. Not a problem. And I have no problems at all doing it. I don't have any fear of dogs. That doesn't mean they can't scare me in the moment.
I can introduce you to all my dogs here, and they'd be fine. Lucy would bark at you, but that is a fear-based aggression. What I'm talking about is a different type of aggression. Like
Okay,
I said,
so you got a dog.
a lot of shit is not fear-based. You see,
Okay,
I got a yard full of fucking killers out here, and I promise you, you're not going to come over here and take Cowboy and put him around any other little animals.
Let's get back here for a second.
Use your fucking chi or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Your little fairy dust shit. You are not going to control him that way. You're going to have to tell him no.
Let me ask.
And you're going to get some more animals slaughtered, dude.
Let's get back up a little bit. You just said
not all aggression is fear based. That's fucking crazy.
Let's just back up again, because you just said one of your dogs has fear based aggression. So why is she still fear based aggression if you're so damn good?
Oh, I'm a dog trainer, not a wizard.
Yeah, exactly. Psychology would make you a wizard. If you just sit on and learn the freaking psychology, it'll make you a whole lot better. And that's the problem I got.
Wait. See, I understand the psychology, and that's why that's why I was able to take a dog who was afraid of the wind blowing because she'd never been outside of an apartment in her 8 years.
You're not a Kevin Murdoch.
And then I go through the videos firing my pistol and sighting in my rifle right beside her, and she's watching fireworks and shit like that. You see, I don't have but so many guys that come over to my house, so it's just an exposure issue when it comes to older men.
The reality is, you haven't read a book on psychology. You haven't read a book from Skinner. That's very apparent. But yet you claim to be a psychologist based on what? You called yourself a psychologist earlier. Based on what? What gives you the right to call yourself a psychologist? That's what I'm interested in.
That's what I do. I do.
No, it's not what you do. Behavior modification is not. Behavior modification is not psychology.
Matters because I have the videos, right?
Yeah.
And you're still deflecting, and I'm not gonna let you get away from this. You're deflecting from the fact that you cannot explain anything. You cannot give any real life examples of any of your bullshit.
I'm gonna ask you one more question.
Be a liar at least 5 times. You don't use tools bullshit. Yeah, you do. You don't use punishment or rewards bullshit. Yeah, you do. You just don't know it. You don't dominate and pressure dogs bullshit. You got your ass bit. I've seen your videos, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. So unless you can describe any real life scenario where you go in and you could tell us just a quick, I don't give a fuck what you're trying to teach the dog. Just give me one real life example.
Okay. Let me ask you one more question before we take off here. You said behavior modification. I'm going to get the videos together and I'll show you the before and after. You mentioned behavior modification. Define what operant conditioning is for me. How do you define operant conditioning? Because you mentioned behavior modification. That's part of it.
Operant conditioning is just a learning theory. That is what it is. It explains how mammals learn.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Operant conditioning, according to dog trainer, you get on Google right now and look up the term operant conditioning. It's going to come back with a method of behavioral modification used in reward and punishment. That's not Skinner's definition of operant conditioning. And would you like me to show you what Skinner's definition, or are you just going to turn around and say, screw it? Would you like to say Skinner's definition?
About a bunch of bullshit. Tell us about your dog training. Tell us how you work with the dogs.
I don't deal with dogs. I dog training.
The deflection.
That's the whole thing.
Pathetic. Dude, you lost so long ago. You lost. Don't
This is,
put that on the screen. That's so embarrassing, dude.
this is Skinner's definition of operant conditioning.
Show us that you understand the psychology by telling us how you applied it in a real life scenario.
Dog training is anti-psychology because punishment doesn't belong in psychology. That's the
I don't
reality.
give a fuck. Then tell me
Yeah, of course
the story
you don't give a
about what
shit.
you did.
Of course you don't give a shit. You claim to be a psychologist, and you haven't even read a fucking book from Skinner. But you're claiming to be a psychologist, and that's the whole problem.
Coloring book, obviously. I don't give a fuck about what the book says. Show me that you can apply it. Show me whatever you're saying. Even you can articulate your theory.
Oh my goodness!
Tell me how you apply it.
This is typical dog trainer. I can have the same damn conversation with any dog trainer, any behaviorist, any vet, any human psychologist, and it'll be the same shit.
Deep conversation. You're repeating the same retarded shit you've been saying for 7 years. Everybody's sick of it.
It's right there in the book. It's right there in the book.
Explain what
you don't care about the
trying to say. You have your platform now. Spill your guts. Stop living in the 1920s. Don't nobody give a fuck about the 1920s. Nobody gives a fuck about Skinner. Nobody gives a fuck about Conrad. Nobody gives a fuck about none of that bullshit.
Hear me out for a second.
About the motherfucking dogs you train.
Hear me out.
No,
you're telling me point blank that Skinner's too old.
Dogs you train.
I don't train dogs.
Shut the fuck up and tell us about the dogs you train.
I do not train dogs. That's the problem.
Have you ever made changes in a dog?
No? Yep, many changes.
Then tell me about it. Tell me how you did it.
I just make friends with the dog. I'm going for a relationship. That's the reality. Nothing more than a relationship.
Motherfuckers, listen. All right, I hope all of y'all are hearing this shit, man. You better post this whole fucking
I got it on video.
You just make friends with the dog. Are you fucking kidding me? So if I bring you a dog that's killing chickens, you're going to make friends with suddenly he's not going to kill the fucking chickens anymore.
Yep.
That's what the fuck you're sitting here telling people. Are you?
I'm going to be building a relationship.
That still sounds crazy.
Yep. I'm going to be building a relationship with the dog. That's what most people don't have. You see, the whole thing is, and I don't care what people think.
How is that going to stop the dog from killing chickens? Explain it to us. How is it going to stop the dog from killing chickens?
Stop and let me explain.
It's just magic.
Stop and let me explain.
I befriended the fuck out of my dog, and he killed the fuck out of my chickens. That's how I know.
You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop and let me explain. You're gonna stop and let me explain. Now, first things first.
What?
You're gonna cut me off again?
Yeah, probably.
Number one problem that we see today, dogs do not have relationships with their human beings. Okay, number one problem. I hear dog trainers say, or dog owners say, I don't trust my dog. So you know what? They're in a toxic relationship. These dogs have never experienced a solid relationship, and that's my first goal, to go in and develop that solid relationship. The dog's going to become my dog, and I'm very upfront with the dog owners. Your dog is going to become my dog. I'm going to work on my dog. I'm going to socialize my dog, and when I'm ready, I want you to watch from a distance how my dog acts in the dog park, and then I'm going to bring you in. And then you're going to take over, and we're going to give you back your dog. So once the relationship is all built up, then my job is done, and you can feel free to go on to dog training. Many clients go into agility, they go into nose work, whatever have you. But psychology is all about the relationship. And once the dog owners trust your dog, that's when everything changes, right? But that doesn't matter to you.
I've
got video of owners.
You're full of shit. You're so full of shit.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair game. We're done. That's fair game. We're done on the. We're done on the podcast. I guess.
Your game is pathetic. Like, you suck at this.
You're asking. Psychology is about understanding. Psychology is not a technique. Yeah, it's a relationship. It's building a relationship with the dog. Because once the dog trusts you,
it don't accomplish shit. Don't accomplish shit.
Once the dog trusts you, guess what?
It don't mean shit. It does not change the fact that he's a danger to other pets or people in society or fucking afraid of fireworks or the goddamn boogeyman or whatever. Being friends with your dog is awesome. The relationship is the foundation, but it is not going to solve anybody's problem.
So
if that's what you're relying on, honestly, it reflects in your videos, so I kind of already knew.
Okay,
but if that's what you're relying on, it is insane that
let me ask you a question.
Pays any attention to anything what you're saying. What the fuck? Dude, a child can comprehend that. Well, that's not going to fucking work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just befriend a dog and all of a sudden he stops chasing squirrels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made friends with Lucy and she still wanted to chase the cars. You know what I mean? Because she's German
Because
Shepherd.
dog training ain't working. You give them a time and a place. You get that German Shepherd out chasing remote control, give them a time and a place, they're going to stop chasing cars. That's the problem.
Well, gee, that's funny because the way I stopped her from chasing cars was playing by the road with a ball.
Yeah, you're trying to you're trying to use Pavlov. You're trying to condition her. I don't condition her. You see, when a dog trusts you 100%, they don't need to be afraid. They don't need to be reactive.
Because you're her friend, all of a sudden she just would know not to chase the cars because, you know.
When a dog comes to trust you, 100%, they have no need to be reactive anymore. They have no need to be aggressive anymore because all of a sudden that's where extinction comes in.
If anything, then they're going to start to try to protect you. You know, dude, you're so full of shit. I knew better than to waste my time, but dude, you're even fucking worse than I thought. Like, you can't be stupid. This has to be an accident. Are you like the white Charleston White? Is that what this is? Is this like supposed to be a satire page? Did I fucking fall for some shit?
Once again, something is causing the emotion that causes the behavior. I focus on the something. I don't focus on the fucking symptoms. I don't focus on punishment.
You retarded jackass. What the fuck are you gonna do to stop cars from driving down the road?
What is the car? It's a reinforcement,
right?
The car is a reinforcement. What am I going to do instead? If the dog's got a problem with that, I'm going to put the dog between my legs and hold on to the dog's collar gently.
The chase is the reinforcement. Oh, wait. You're going to do what now?
I'm going to put the dog between my legs and hold the dog gently. The collar. And you can actually see that in videos. What I'm doing, I'm showing the dog that I am in control. You don't need to be afraid. I am in control. I got this.
Positive punishment or negative reinforcement, depending on the time and place.
Positive punishment doesn't exist.
See, I didn't have to do all that shit. I was able to continue the game with a quick little leash pop that went like that.
Quick little leash pop. Yeah, figure it out without the leash pop. That'll hurt me more. Okay? So you know what? Instead of going off through all this, I need to go for a smoke.
Between me and the dog. You know what I'm saying? I know how to teach the dog. I don't have to create that conflict where I have to physically restrain her and crowd her space. That's why your dumbass gets bit. That's spatial pressure. You don't do that to a fear-reactive dog, especially one that's fucking new to you.
Oh, fear-reactive dog. Okay, so we're going to go fear, aggression, fear-reactive. So now we're going to start using the same coins, the terms. The dog is actually showing aggression or reactivity because they're scared. Let's get it right.
That's what I said.
No, it's not. You said fear-reactive.
By definition, yes, because the difference is
there you go. Because when you say that,
there's a difference between reactive and aggressive. Aggressive is a dog who just wants to fight. A reactive dog is a dog that reacts to a certain stimulus. It depends on what it is. Like if a dog reacts to a vacuum cleaner, you know what I'm saying? That's not aggressive. There's
aggression.
The behavior is aggression. But it's
fight and flight.
Not the same in dog training.
Fight and flight is aggression and reactivity. They're both caused by a single emotion. It can be caused by fear, it can be caused by anger, it can be caused by anxiety. These are all different emotions.
Right, there you go. See, it's not just, that's my point. Aggression is not always fear. It's more complex than that. It depends. Are you talking about the red pit bull that's fucking foaming at the mouth when he smells another dog? Or are you talking about the German Shepherd that's a little territorial? Or are we talking about the livestock guardian that's territorial? You know what I mean? Like there's different levels of aggression, different types of aggression, and there's different approaches to handle it. There's some dogs that you can expose to things and it just solves everything. Most of the time, something that works.
But we agree that something is causing the aggression, right? Which makes the aggression a symptom, the outcome of a problem, and not a punishable thing. Why are you punishing symptoms?
Not always.
It's always. It's always.
No, not always. Not always. No, if my dog
aggression always,
children, that is a punishable fucking offense. I promise you.
The dog can't help to do it. Why is the dog doing it?
Fighting people. No.
And what psychology wants?
I don't have filthy dogs. I have dogs that'll really hurt things. And I can't have that shit. So you know what? I have a responsibility.
You know, when it comes to behaviors,
on their pet.
okay, you know what? When it comes to behaviors, always ask why. But you're not asking why the behaviors exist. So you know what?
Yes,
I'm tired. I need to smoke.
Why, but the why doesn't fucking matter.
No, the why does matter
cannot
because
eat the neighbor's kid. It just can't. It just can't. The dog can't run out in the fucking middle of the road. It just can't. The dog can't eat the other dog. It just can't. We have to teach it one or the other.
Jesus Christ Almighty! Why is the dog acting out? That's what needs to happen. Why is the dog acting out?
He doesn't kill anybody, you goddamn retarded fool! Are you serious? You can't be.
Oh my!
Seriously,
you know what?
Is this a joke? Is this a satire? You know page? Nobody.
No, it's not a satire page.
Are you seriously? Like, you're really this goddamn retarded?
You want to call me retarded? Go for it. But this is not going to end well for you. Okay? I'm laying out the psychology.
It has ended so fucking great. You have made a complete fucking idiot of yourself.
You're like Trevor Murdoch. He's going, oh yeah.
Hold on. Did you just sit here and told everybody that you don't understand why an aggressive dog has to contain themselves? Like, do you?
No.
You don't have any idea how fucking dangerous that is, and how people.
It's about understanding.
Like, a couple of brain cells understand that that's not okay. If you have, if you have an aggressive dog, fucking being his friend is not going to help you. You're going to have to.
There's no such thing as
behavior, teaching him wrong.
There's no such thing as an aggressive dog.
Not necessary.
There's no such thing as an aggressive dog.
Yes,
there's no such thing as an aggressive dog. We just addressed this. Something is causing the dog to be aggressive.
You're wrong. You're wrong. It doesn't matter what the fuck you say. That's stupid. There's thousands of people around the world working with aggressive dogs. I have one with a body count in the hundreds right here in my fucking yard. I show videos of him killing shit on my page. I promise you, aggression is fucking real. And guess what? His offspring are the same goddamn way. All the game bred pit bulls I had, guess what? They didn't like other dogs. They'd rather fight. Pit bulls are the easiest things in the world. There's such thing as aggressive dogs.
Something is causing the dog to show aggression, which makes aggression a symptom, which means that there's no such thing as an aggressive dog.
No, that is not what that means. That's not what you made that shit up, man. You're making all this shit up because you're too dumb to actually get out here and work with dogs. So
dude, you know what?
Find something better to do. This isn't a niche you're going to go viral in, man.
I'm not looking to go viral.
To watch this shit.
I'm not looking to go viral. So you know what? I think we need to end it because I need to go for a smoke and you're getting stoned. And you can really see it.
Okay? Dude, I've been stoned. That's the only way I got through this shit. I've never met anybody so stupid in all my life. Like, I hope you get herpes of the eye, dude. Like, if you're out here telling people this shit and they're actually buying into it, paying you to do it, you're a fucking scumbag. Like, dude,
that's your opinion.
It's pathetic that people are naive to believe it, but goddamn Jim Jones got 900 fucking people to commit suicide with him. So there's an idiot born every day. But it's not right that you prey on those people, dude. Like,
I'm not preying on anybody.
You're a ridiculous fucking individual. All that shit you talk, I thought you were going to say some brilliant Mark Twain shit in here.
Well, you know what?
You come in here talking about I befriend a dog, and all of a sudden he's
on a final note.
Well, it's okay.
On a final note, I'm going to offer you the same thing again. Join the group, make a comment, and ask dog owners what's going on with them. You don't need to listen to me, but you won't do it because it's not convenient, okay? So you know what? Let's have a good night.
I'll make you an offer. Suck my dick.
Yeah, there you go. Dog trainer. Welcome to fucking scam. It's crazy, you know? That's all he can do is call names, and he's calling himself a psychologist. He clearly hasn't read a book on Skinner. He hasn't read Thorndike. He hasn't read shit, but yet he's calling himself a psychologist. And that's the whole problem. They're all making up their own shit as they go along and calling themselves a psychologist based on what? And dogs are dead. Millions of dogs are fucking dead. Millions of children are dead because the same system of goddamn garbage that they're calling the qualis of dog training is what applied behavior analysis is in autism. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bow out for the night. I'm going to be coming back at this again because I'm going to be going through and we're going to be talking about this guy because this is out to lunch. Okay? That's all they can do is belittle. When they haven't got any knowledge, violence begins where knowledge ends, man. That's what it boils down to. And the man has no knowledge. So all of a sudden he has to go to violence. Dog trainers reach for tools because violence begins where knowledge ends. And they don't have any knowledge. And all they can do is ridicule. All they can do is laugh. And again, tomorrow I'm going to take the, and I told them already, all the conversations that are going on, I've got them fully recorded. And I'm going to go over through them tomorrow, and we're going to start naming names of all the ones that are laughing at psychology. And I'm going to pinpoint to everybody that these trainers don't have a freaking clue what they're talking about. I'm actually posting B.F. Skinner, the very man they blame for all this garbage, and they're poking fun at it. They're laughing at it. That's the reality, because they don't understand it. But yet they're calling themselves experts in behaviors and psychologists, and they can't even define the word. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. This is a scam. And I tell you one thing right now, this entire scam, and again, Larry Crone was over on Bone-A-Fide's page. Larry Crone of all people, he got me banned. I had to use my backup account. Somebody said it. Crone actually made a comment. So I went in on my backup account and I actually blasted him. Do you think he's going to come back at me? No. I'm going to be laying out this entire scam. The entire scam started in 1999 with the IACP, and it was Ivan Balabanov and a bunch of others that got together, and that's when they started dragging IGP into the Bayford ring. And I've been watching it for the last 15, 20 years. Stay tuned. The entire system is coming apart, and this is the reason why Ivan Balabanov and Larry Crone and Robert Cabral and all them, they're all banning me and they're all running away. But I'm going to tell you right now, Larry, and Ivan and Robert, Melanie Hughes, Lisa Vadasta, I'm warning you right now, you can't hide from me much longer. You're going to have to face me at some point. Because when I bring out all the information, I'm going to skin you all alive. The American College of Vet Behaviors is a fraud organization, and I'm going to prove it. IACP, fraud organization. ARDO, under Jamie Penrith, is another friggin' fraud organization that's running defense for IACP. Okay? And all the PR, all the big names, are all involved in this shit. Karen Pryor, Ian Dunbar, they're all involved in a scam to create this division in dog training. Okay? They're creating all these different factions, and they're all going to fucking fighting with each other. That was the whole plan. Stay tuned. Give me a few days, and I'm going to be releasing all this stuff. So I'm going to bow out. I need to smoke. My voice is gone. I'm starting to scream. It sounds like I'm getting aggressive, but I'm not, because my lungs are not working properly. So have a good night. We'll talk again.